Hey Scruffy, how you doing? Gonna single me out, huh? I mean, you're good? Why are you turning around for dinner, huh? Okay, guess I'll bring out your food. Got your smelly fish. So looks like your water bowl's normal today. It's about more than half. It was a hot day. So I guess our water situation's back to normal. Still, I don't know why your bowl's been empty the previous few days. Okay, so I need to change your water. Okay, got your new water. Okay, skip the toilet and sit down. Okay. So you had a few meows for me after all, huh? So it got hot again. So it was worse than yesterday. I had trouble sleeping again. So I tried going out without any sleeping pills or NyQuil or whatever. It didn't work. So about 4 this morning I gave up and took half a dose of NyQuil. So I woke up late morning, so I didn't get a full night's sleep. And then there are things I had to do this morning, so I didn't get a chance to go out for a bike ride this morning. Checking the weather, it was one of those days where I really needed to go early. So by noon, it was already terrible. And according to the weather report, it was actually not going to get better. So I probably actually still would have been better off going at noon, but I was actually still not free to go out, and it was pretty bad. So I was basically just hoping that it would cool down in the afternoon or evening, even though the weather forecast was not showing that. So as the afternoon grew late, it was still really hot, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go out. It was pretty miserable. Just kind of into the pets right now. Yeah, there's a neck rub there. So I was trying to push off my ride as late as I could, just hoping the weather would cool down. So I started preparing dinner early, kind of like last night. So I could leave later, and then the moment I step in the door, I can start dinner. Ooh, he headbutted my leg there. So I finally left at about the latest I could possibly go, and it was still probably too hot. So I was dripping sweat even before I got to the park. At least the park was open today. Days like this, sometimes they close it. There were a lot of fire hazard signs out, so looks like they're on alert. So no smoking, no barbecues, no, there's one more thing. No leaf blowers. Remember there was a weird... Yeah, I think it was no leaf blowers. They have a weird one. It's like, why would I bring a leaf blower to the park? As if I don't have my own leaves I need to blow. I know, I'm going to go to the park and do a bunch of chores. We're going to get your food, okay? So this is the last of the smelly fish in the can. So I think tomorrow it's probably the meaty pate with real chicken and tuna. No, we'll find out tomorrow. There's a green artifact there. So I biked up the exposed mountainside. We'll climb number 1. Hope he's not eating too fast. He's kind of moving and bobbing his head a lot, chewing. That motion kind of worries me, because it reminds me when he starts throwing up. So anyway, yeah, I went up the exposed hillside. So I wanted to keep my ride a little shorter today because I left so late it was losing the sunlight. So by the time I got there, the sun was already kind of obstructed by the mountainside, so I wasn't getting that much sunlight except when I was in certain parts where I'm looking directly into the sun. But the sun intensity is not that much of a problem at that time of day. But the ambient temperature was just still really hot, so it was still really uncomfortable. And because I felt time pressure, because I didn't want to be riding home in pitch black, I think I was pushing myself a little harder to climb up the hill, so I was feeling a lot more tired by the time I got up there. I don't know, it could have been just a lack of sleep. So on my way back, yeah, it was starting to get dark, but there was still a little bit of sunlight left. There's actually a guy on a motorized skateboard that passed me. He was going pretty fast. He was almost keeping up with traffic. So they're all leaving me in the dust. But it's impressive how fast those skateboards move. These motors or something. So I remember a long, long time ago, when I was growing up, some of my friends had little RC racing cars, and losing focus. There we go. And the RC cars had their own custom batteries that had to constantly be recharged. And so we'd use I think it was a car charger to charge the batteries, and each charge took, I think it was over an hour, maybe a few hours, but the actual battery life of a car when you're using the battery was less than 20 minutes. And so you had to really take advantage of what little battery life that you had. So it's impressive how powerful. So either how powerful these batteries are in these motorized skateboards, or how little energy that these motors use nowadays. Because the little RC cars were electric as well. So, yeah, great era to be alive and growing up, I imagine, because nowadays you don't have an RC car, you got a drone. That's like so much cooler. And you can put a camera on them. I remember also growing up, I used to build little model rockets, and so you build the rocket, and you had standard little rocket engines, and you'd have to find an open clearing that wasn't a fire hazard, and you could launch them if there are no people around. And I remember there was one model, so these were the more mainstream consumer friendly ones. You could get them at a major hobby store or toy store. I remember I got some at Toys R Us way back when Toys R Us was still a thing. But yeah, they sold one model that actually had a camera built into it, but it was really expensive, and it was a really big rocket because back then cameras had to be a certain size, and I know, yeah, it had to use film. Yeah, they didn't have digital cameras back then. Still a little bit too early for disposable digital cameras that you shove in a rocket and you might lose. So I think the moment I stood up last night, Scruffy took off. So I think he's not that inclined to stay. I was thinking he's going to take off there, but I think I'm going to leave here. So I'm really hungry. My stomach's been growling. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.